Microbiology definition, branches, and history. This is the first topic of pharmaceutical microbiology of third semester B-Pharm. In this video, we will discuss about the definition, branches, history of pharmaceutical microbiology, especially the contributions of Robert Hooke, Antony van Leeuwenhoek and Louis Pasteur. Now coming to the definition, microbiology is a branch of biology which concerned with the microorganism which cannot seen by naked eye. Or in another word, we can define this as branch of biology that deals with the microorganism and their effect on living organism. So that is the definition of microbiology. Now coming to the branches of microbiology. Microbiology is again classified into different branches according to the type of microorganism which we are studying. Example like bacteriology, in which we will study about the bacteria. Virology, we will study of virus. Protozoology, in which we will study protozoans. Phycology, in which we will study algae. Mycology, study of fungus. And last one is an important branch of microbiology that is known as medical microbiology. This is the medical laboratory practice in which we will deal with the causative agents of infectious diseases of animals and their reaction to them and the method of protections against this type of microorganism. So that is the medical microbiology. So this is the branches of microbiology. Now coming to the history of microbiology. The first scientist who studied about microorganism and who find out was D. Varro and Columella in 1st century BC. After his study, he postulated that the disease is caused by some invisible being. He named that invisible being as animal minute, which are inhaled or ingested will cause diseases. After that, in 1546, Fractorius of Verona proposed that Contagium vivae as a possible cause of infectious diseases. Then in 1762, von Plancis suggested that each disease is caused by separate agents. And in 1659, Krischer reported that minute worms in the blood of plague victims. The major turning point in the history of microbiology was after the discovery of microscope. The Robert Hooke in 1665, he was the first one who constructed a simple microscope. And by using that simple microscope, he reported to the world that the life's smallest structural unit were little boxes or cells, and he observed these little boxes or cell in the slice of cork. And after the study of this cell, he published a book with many illustration of previous unseen world of biology materials, and he also observed the fungi and protozoa. After the Robert Hooke, the major contribution was from Antony van Leeuwenhoek in 1974. He was a scientist from Holland, and he is known as father of microbiology as he discovered or he invented a microscope with single lens microscope with a magnification power of approximately 300 times. By using that, he observed minute form of life in the droplet of pond, rain and seawater. And his discovery he published in a letter by Royal Society of London. After the Antony van Leeuwenhoek in 1745, an Irish priest known as NIDA, he has published a paper on spontaneous generation or abiogenesis of microorganism in putrescible fluid. He postulated that the microorganism is generated spontaneously. But after the further study by Spallanzani in 1769, he opposed the Needham view that the microorganism is not generated spontaneously. Then in 1835, Agostino Bassi, who discovered Muscadian disease of silkworm as was caused by some fungus. Then 1850, Darwin and Polander found anthrax bacillus in the blood of animal who are dying with the disease anthrax. After this, the major contribution was by Louis Pasteur. Louis Pasteur discovered many discoveries in the field of microbiology, from its fermentation process to sterilization process, and he established the fermentation process was a result of microbial activity, and different type of fermentation were associated with the different type of microorganism. And also he concluded that the different need of bacteria for the production of different products, we cannot use the same microorganism for the different products. And also he studied different microorganisms like anthrax, chickenpox and cholera, and he introduced different sterilization techniques like steam sterilization, hot air oven and autoclave, which are used to kill the presence of microorganism. And he was the first scientist who developed vaccine. The first vaccine was against hydrophobia or rabies. And he also developed different vaccine against anthrax bacillus. Then after that, the Lister in 1867 he introduced the antiseptics, which are the chemicals which can be used in tissues, living tissue, and he invented this antiseptic technique in surgery process. And after that, Robert Koch discovered many microorganisms like anthrax bacillus, tuberculosis, Vibrio cholerae. And Hansen, he discovered leprosy bacillus in 1874, and in 1884 Leo Fleur discovered diphtheria bacillus. Then 1884 Oxton discovered staphylococcus, and Rox and Yersin in 1888 discovered diphtheria toxin, and Ruska in 1934 introduction of electron microscope. So Ruska in 1934 he discovered some advanced type of microorganism with more wavelength and more resolution power. So this is all about the definition, branches and history of microbiology. And on exam point of view, the history and scope of microbiology is a frequently asked question. In that history, you should mention the contribution of Robert Hooke, Antony van Leeuwenhoek and Louis Pasteur in detail, and others' discovery, and we should mention their discovery, but you have to elaborate the contributions of Robert Hooke, Anthony van Leeuwenhoek, and Louis Pasteur. So this is all about the definition, branches, and history of microbiology. So thank you for watching this video.